As many of you may know, I am a gigantic fan of the LEGO toy line Bionicle. Not only did it have cool looking sets, but it also had a great story to go along with it, which was told through comics, games, and web animations. Then I read something on the subpage of the Bionicle website advertising a Bionicle movie. Now, as much as I wish to say something like,
I was just about to shit my Transformers underwear,
or
we've literally pissed ourselves,
that wouldn't be exactly true for me. My first reaction was of disbelief. There's no way a movie of Bionicle could be made, but as time foretold, it was true, because the teaser showed up on websites, the mini CDs, and even the DVD of Spirited Away. The teaser itself was actually pretty awesome. Just watch.
In a time before time, in a world you've only imagined, a shadow will be cast, and a great adventure will come to light. Bionicle, Mask of Light, the movie.
Just wow. This blew my mind. And then came the official trailer, and
Bionicle, Mask of Light, the movie.
Still one of the coolest trailers I've ever seen. So as you can tell, I was more than extremely hyped to see this. So much so that whenever I saw a still from the movie from the LEGO magazine, I would go into a trance-like state because at how overwhelmed I was by the awesomeness of the Bionicle movie. Thus, I wasn't allowed to see the movie when it came out. It wasn't until the summer of 2007 when Dark Media finally uploaded the movies onto YouTube that I actually saw it. Enough of my history behind this, let's talk about the movie itself. The story, two Matoran, Takula and Jailer, find an ancient Kanohi mask which turns out to be the great Avoki Mask of Light, hence the title. The Turaga of the fire village of Takoro, Bakama, sends the two on a quest to find the legendary 7th Toa. Meanwhile, the evil Makuta sends out his minions, the Rachi, to destroy the same Mask of Light. Yeah, they're just like the Nazgul in the Lord of the Rings, which are also trying to get the ancient icon which can destroy the great evil. The Rakshi themselves are called Terach, Gurak, Leirach, Panrach, Vorach, and Kurach, but in the movie I don't recall them ever being named. As for me, when I finished this movie back in 2007, I found it to be just okay. Which in a way is saying that I was pretty disappointed. I mean, I was really expecting this to be the greatest animated film, hell, the greatest movie of all time. Better than The Prince of Egypt, better than The Lion King, and these are epic films, and I wanted this movie to have the same emotional scale as those two movies. But what I saw was, for lack of a better word, underwhelming. I couldn't explain why, but that was 6 years ago. I've given it a second watch recently, and I think I know the reason now. This movie unfortunately fails to capture what first drew me to the Bionicle franchise. This feeling of mystery and beauty which left you breathless playing the online games just isn't there in the movie. But that's not to say that it's a bad movie. In fact, it could have been worse. Much worse. I read on IMDb that an early draft had a human child supposedly shot in live action being transported to the Bionicle universe, and it is he who becomes the 7th Toa. I really hope that whoever came up with that idea was dismissed just like this.
that's the stupidest idea I ever heard. Get out!
With that in mind, my views on the movie have improved slightly. Out of all the redesigns, the one which bugs me the most would be the Mask of Light itself. Just look at it. Now look at its real life set counterpart. The toy version looks a lot more great, for lack of a better word. The mask in the movie looks kinda flat and pale by comparison. I know I may be nitpicking here, But the Mask of Light is in the very cover of the DVD, and it's the toy version. The voices of the characters are also a mixed bag. Tahu,
None have breached Tokoro's gates before.
awesome voice. Dolly,
First, we must be united.
good. Pohatu,
Brother, I am thrilled to be here.
acceptable. Kopaka,
It was you who were following me.
perfect. Onua,
Pohatu! Look around you.
Expected.
Mining has never been better.
but nice. Liwa's though,
Matanui, where did
I
you
don't
learn to
really
bear
like
fight
it.
like that, little one?
it just sounds too soft. When I thought of Liwa, I thought of this hyper happy-go-lucky Toa, not unlike Insaniac from Small Soldiers. This Liwa sounds a lot like Bruce from Family Guy.
Might he be a spirit lift? Oh no!
As for Takura and Jello, well, just listen to him.
Well, well, well. Whatever happened to I quit?
I could've, but I didn't.
They sound like a couple of teenagers. If you watch Blaster Master 1942's reviews, he says that both the voices and the behaviors of the two are contrary to what us Bionicle fans saw on the online game and the shorts which came afterwards.
Military-minded, competent, serious. In this movie, he just plays the more mature foil to Takua. He's the best friend who's more responsible, but only just.
I'll have to agree. Gel is a bit of a
But I
whiny
didn't
bitch
tell
as
the
opposed to
truth.
the confident leader he was portrayed as, while Takua was similar, but is now lazy and...
Irresponsible?
yeah, irresponsible. Even though it's out of character, the relationship between Takua and Jaller is pretty enjoyable.
Takuma. Go on!
And the Makuta's first appearance in his shadowy lair and as a couple red eyes are genuinely creepy, and his hulking form's actually pretty cool to be honest. Looks like Destroyer from Godzilla, only without the wings. And he has a great voice too.
Must I release those who should never see the light of day?
The special effects show promise in the opening scenes, but from there on, they're also a mixed bag. There are some funny scenes, like when Bakama is fighting the Rachi in the ruined Takora, or when Takua is trying to escape and uses the Evoki as a paddle. Hilarious. So all the Rachi finally gather in Kirinui and engage in an epic fight with the Toa. Yeah, the action's kind of tame. A little too tame. That is until Jaller jumps into Turak's staff and somehow dies. That's huge for a children's animated movie. Hell, huge for a children's animated direct-to-video movie. But later in the end, he gets resurrected, since this is a kid's film after all. So Takua puts on the Evoki and becomes the 7th Toa, who is now Takanuva. He goes down all pissed off and meets the Makuta and engages in a calling match. Really? Why not a fight or something epic like that? Takua, Takanuva, try to remove Makuta's Kraka Mask of Shadows, revealing whatever's down there. I don't know. They fall down in a pit and meld into Takutanuva. Basically half Makuta, half Takanuva, who opens a doorway which leads them to the subterranean city of Metronui, which will be covered in the sequel, or prequel, if you may. In short, this movie was made mostly for those who have been aware of the Bionicle franchise for a while, such as myself. So if you're a super fan of Bionicle, check it out. As for me, a super fan of Bionicle, I have to quote Dom DeLuise from History of the World Part 1.
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
I humbly give this movie 3.5 flattened Evoki masks out of a possible 5. Tune in next month for Bionicle 2, Legends of Metronui.